Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you how to take your game and make it usable on the Steam Deck. Now, this isn't very difficult, but you will have to follow the directions exactly. If you've already set it up, it's just going to be reviewing which buttons do what and how to manipulate the inventory with your Steam Deck. Let's get started. We'll start with the aim button. The aim button is going to be R2. Now, outside of the inventory, it aims. When you have nothing to aim with, you punch. If you have something like a chainsaw or a jackhammer, it'll do nothing. But once you get into the inventory, what's going to happen is if you hold down the control button, which is going to be for you, L4, and L4 is control. And what this will do is if you're in your inventory and you aim, and you hold down the control button, which is L4, you'll be able to open up other boxes and things that you store your items in and use the trackpad on the left to move it around. So basically, you're holding L4, you use the trackpad on the left side, and better yet, show you. So, we're holding control, and we're using the left pad. When you do this, it drops it with the shoot button, or in this case, the A button, which is left click. But if you were in the Steam Deck, sorry, if you were in a storage unit, it would store it if you used R2, but there's a shortcut as well. If you don't want to use your other hand to manipulate it because it's too difficult for you to do, you can set the trackpad on the other side as not a mouse, but an actual button setup. So you would set up as right mouse button, which is aim, and down mouse button, which is going to be down on the trackpad. I personally like to use the trackpad as a left and a right tool. This way, you're not really gonna have any trouble because you'll be running around and then all of a sudden you'll be like this. You're snuck behind something and then slowly move around the corner like that, and you'll be able to do that perfectly, just like I did on a computer. So there's that. Okay. Now, in order to equip your first weapon, you are going to set up L1 and L2. L1 is going to be your primary, and L2 is going to be your secondary. Yes, I know there are a lot of areas for like slots and things, but there's no room on the actual Steam Deck controller or Steam Deck itself to put all the hotkeys. I would recommend a controller that has. There's only one other controller, and it's called G5. It has 18 buttons, it has one haptic pad on the right with the Y, A, B, and X buttons in the haptic pad. So if you are moving stuff around in the haptic pad, you press down the A button and it will automatically do what you need to do. Same as this, but I think This might be a little smoother for a start, but should be able to get to it. Now, if you have those set up, that means whenever you hit L1, it'll go to this, and L2 will go to this. And that's pretty much it. Now, we're going to go over to the pads. And if you don't know what the pads are the things that on normal controllers would be considered up, down, left, right, and they work in correlation with the analog stick. So I usually set the top button, which again, if you look at it, it's like a crosshair. You'll know what it is when you see it. I usually set set up to V, and that will allow you to switch between settings on your gun. Down is going to be P, and if you hold it, you'll be able to use the left mouse tracking, the right side haptic pad, which uses the right-sided mouse to select which one you want to switch it to. So for instance, if I was like this, and then I went like this, and I was like, oh, I want to move my mouse over to that setting. What you're going to do is you're going to move the mouse with the trackpad and then press the mouse pad down. You want to make sure that you have it set as that. By default, it is in there, but if you do not set it as the left mouse button in the game, it won't always click. So when you open the settings, you want the left mouse button be selected that way. So you go to the trackpad settings on the right, and there'll be a click option along with the mouse movement. And you're going to select the mouse click as your select key. Or not your select key, your fire key, which should be the same with A. So it basically you'll aim with can aim with R2 or the haptic pad up. And the haptic pad on the left is the correct one. Sorry about that. And basically, that means you don't have to touch anything in the top. It makes it a little easier for new starters, but if you're okay with the controls as they are and you know how to use them correctly, then this is the way you want to use it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to now look at what the left and the right do. Now, the left and the right allow you to do this. And again, that's the that's the trackpad. My bad. The left allows you to turn on your gun, and the right allows you to turn on your headset piece. So if you ever are having problems, you fall down a drain, like over here. My friend fell down it the other day. She wasn't looking where she was going, and boop, she plopped right down into there, and there was a zombie at the bottom, and it was so dark. So it's always good to have something like a tactical light in the background that if you're using this, which gives you the, hold on, let me turn it on. It gives you the range, right? Now, if I switch it back to this, flashlight. Some areas you should know don't always show in the light, even when you have night vision goggles. Night vision goggles really require you to have some form of light, and when it's complete darkness, it just doesn't work. That's why you have to have that flashlight on your gun. Or vice versa. Like, for instance, have the light on your head and have the night vision on your scope. That works too. Okay, now that we got the pads done, we have R2 and L2, we're going to look at what L3 does. Now, you see I'm walking. This is going to be your left analog stick. Now, you're not just going to just do this, okay? Sometimes you want to run like this, right? But unfortunately, you can't run like this without using this. It's not like a computer. So, what you gotta do is you're gonna set the left button underneath the analog stick to shift. Now, what that's gonna do is it's going to tell the game that when you run like this, if you run like this and you press down that button, it'll toggle it on. You remember, you want it set to toggle. This way, when you stop moving, it goes back to normal. You don't want to continue running. Okay? So that's going to be the analog stick and the directional and what that does. Now, we know what R2 does, but let's look at R1. Oh, it looks like we got an extra button. I got a double extra button. We're going to set R1 we're going to set R1 as 3. Now you have the ability to set up a third, hotbar 3, which is generally what you want. You generally just need the first 3, unless you're obsessive where you think you need more. But that's generally how I would do it. So we got R1 as hotspot 3, and we have R2 is A. Now we're gonna look at I don't know if I said this yet, but if you were looking to jump, you could run and use the analog stick to just walk, and you just press the analog stick down on the right side. So let's say you're running, you just jump like that by pressing down the analog stick. But do remember that if you do this, it will cause hold on, I lost my train of thought. I was too busy eating. It does use your stamina. So remember, you can't just jump forever. See, look. But I have the ability to stop moving, and it automatically refills for me because of my skill level. Anyways, that's how you jump. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering are you able to sneak or prawn? Well, the sneak, you're going to press, I believe it's L4. No, R4. Yeah, R4 is going to be sneak. Change the view. See? And that's going to be the way it is. You'll have to press the same button to get out of it, but that's the way it's going to be. Now, R5, I think we can, sorry, it's different for me. So, okay. So, R4 is going to be crawl or sneak, and R5 is going to be prone. If you don't know what proning is, see if I can get it in. What allows you to sneak under things. Oh, changed the buttons for me recently. So that's going to be that. Okay. Now that we're done looking at the basics, we learned about what the visuals, sorry, the haptic pads, the clicking, the primary and secondary, the movement, the running, the jumping, the aiming, the shooting. I'm going to show you, I got to tell you, to open up your inventory, you're going to press Y. Now, Y will bring up the map. Or you could set it as your inventory, which is I on the... Oh, one too high. Wait, no. Yes, too high. This is my base. Okay. It's going to set it as... Lost my train of thought there. Oh. Okay. Y is opening map. And I don't mean the letter Y on the keyboard. I mean the actual button. So when you press the button Y, you want it set up to either open the map or open your inventory. I personally have it set up in my map so that when I'm driving a car, I don't open my inventory and have to select the map. I open the map, then go to my inventory. And most of the time, it really works that way. And the last thing that you get put into is what it opens up. For instance, if I press map and I exit, right? And then I press the same thing again, it'll go back to it. So it's pretty good. The B button is your best friend. The B button is your go back button. So let's say you're in here, you press B, it exits. Anything that you need to escape from, press B. B does this as well. Press B again, it does that. So that is one of your best friends. So let's go open up the inventory. Okay, we're going to talk about storage and how to sort things. First thing you gotta know is if you don't know how to craft, you're gonna press the Y button, not the Y key. No, this is says Y. Press the Y key, it will open up your map or inventory. For me, my map. Go over to crafting, right? And you're gonna go down to salvage. These are the most important things that you need to know to keep your inventory clean. Now, so when you click it with your A button, this is what's going to happen. It's going to open up the side. It's not worth it. You don't want that. If you know what you want to get rid of, what you do is you're going to hold down Control, and you're going to hit A on the item, and it will automatically do that without opening this. So the control button for you is going to be L4. That's the first pad in front on the bottom of the Steam Deck. And you're going to just keep doing that. Just remember to do it slowly. This way you don't ruin what's going on. Okay, now this is a little differently. In order to get rid of segmented pieces, for instance, I want to keep one hammer, but it's set to 2. So I can't use control. I have to use shift. So shift on the keyboard is for running. So that would mean that if you were to use the button for running, it would get rid of 1. And that's really the way it works. I hate the upscale system. So it automatically chooses the highest item up in your inventory to scrap instead of what you wanted to scrap. It's stupid. Same thing with the ammunition. If you want to refill the ammo and there's a space up above, it moves the ammo cartridge to the top. It's stupid. Okay. So we looked at our inventory. Ooh, that's an airdrop. Airdrops in the server. Oh well. Anyways, back to the crafting. You're going to scrap everything. Now, if there are too many items to go through, for instance, see how this one is in the red, even though it's there? What you're going to do is you're going to press the hide button, and anything that's not in your inventory will just it'll be gone. So that's a little thing to remember that. Okay. Now let's go back to the inventory. Okay. Like I said before, hold control, and if you press A, it will automatically just drop it on the floor. And A is shoot. So, knowing that, if you hold control, which is your L4 button, and you press LB, which is aim, which could be R2, or up on the left trackpad, it'll store it back into your inventory, and vice versa. But do not get confused if it doesn't move right away. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you'll fill up your inventory, and as a certain amount of items allowed in the backpack. And so if you put like 150 scrap iron, or scrap metal into your inventory, it'll probably go up to about here, and then it will jump to the next thing. And that's not an error. That's the game saying you have too many items in that one slot, and it will glitch it. So, again, I'm going to take these all out because they should not be done. This is all scrap metal. Perfect. Now, from your storage, you can go over to crafting. For me, I have a special mod that makes it so that you can stack them. Not like the stackable default, but okay. Now, as you see, as you can see, hold on, gotta be one more here. Ooh, handy. Gotta be one scrap iron. Oh well, interesting. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold down the L4 button and you're gonna press up on the haptic pad, and that's gonna convert everything over. Now, what you're not seeing is because we put on hide, you're not seeing this. You're not seeing this thing. This is the conversion formula that it was shown before, but it's not showing because we did this. Okay? So it's filled. Now, we're going to take these items, we're going to find the right storage unit, and we're going to store them in there. And that's pretty much it. And do you guys remember what to do? L4 and aim. Ready? L4 and aim. Remember, it's faster and easier to use the left haptic pad to move around. If you set it as an A push down button, it will automatically, when you press down while you're hovering over it, it'll automatically insert it when you're holding down the L4 button when you click it. Just like if you were holding down, just like if you were pressing the A button over it. So that's the easiest way you can control. And again, if you're looking for another quick tip, put all your ammo up top and make sure that this area is full, or else the ammo is going to go out of your inventory and then up here. And that's a pain in the butt because then other items fill that space. You don't want that. So that's it for now. And this is to show you really how to use the Steam Deck with it to make the game completely compatible versus what they give you in the default format. Thank you.